Good afternoon, guys. Start. Okay, thank you. All right. So, uh, so any confusion, any doubt, any question you like to ask? One moment. Any question? All clear? So we'll be starting with new chapter. Okay? Monetary policy. Tick. Okay. So, see, basic rule of finance is take someone else's money, use your brain, energy, your hard work, make money with that money, return the money back to the original lender, and the company is yours. Every intelligent people, the one who understand the rule of finance, they never put up their money. They borrow. One reason, if you will see, there are many reasons, but basic rule remains the same. So all the rich people, jitne bhi ameer, very big people, all of them you will see they take money from the bank and they do business. Okay, they have become rich. They have certain talent, you can say. Becoming rich is not easy, है ना? It's a tough job, but they have become rich. इसका मतलब है कुछ दिमाग लगाया. The rule is this कि I asked you to give me 1 crore rupees. I used that 1 crore rupees very efficiently and I made 3 crore rupees and I have returned 1 crore rupees to you with some interest, whatever the interest is. Okay, and then rest company is mine, मेरा हो गया, and I'll do the business. Okay, even with very big companies. Okay, this Tata, Reliance, Adani do everything. Ambani and Adani, they do everything with someone else's money, remember, and that is your money essentially, because they borrow from public sector bank, and public sector bank matlab whose bank? My bank, है ना? So they won't give money to me, but technically it's my bank, government bank, and I am the government, है ना? So that is the rule of finance. ठीक है? So now let's build from this idea. Rule of finance हमें पता है कि you want to establish, let's say, a factory. ठीक है सर? You want to establish a factory. ठीक. Rule of finance. You will go to State Bank of India. They will give you loan. Fine. Now, I am an ordinary person and I know that rule of finance is borrow from somewhere else, use your brain, multiply it, return it, and hold everything. है ना? There is no point thinking that SBI would not be knowing it. They are bank, they know everything. The SBI will also go and ask money from somewhere else. SBI can go to which place? There are many places, but one place is RBI. Abhi, let's talk about RBI. Alright? In other chapters, you will see the plethora of options we are having to generate funds. Fine? Thik. Now, there are two situations. First, let's say SBI said that I will give you loan at, let's say, 10%. Okay, fine. And RBI gave them loan at, let's say, 4%. Banks are called as financial intermediaries. Intermediary matlab beech wala. Tomorrow, I will hire a personal assistant. मान लेते हैं. Okay. अभी तो you can knock on in my door and at my door and you can come कि सर 5 minutes चाहिए. तो I'll say okay, come. Fine. Tomorrow if I hire someone, will he or she will allow you inside my chamber? That person become intermediary. You have to take permission from that person. You have to take appointment from that person. Okay? Do you get my point? Anyone who is intermediary works like that. Okay? Intermediary. They generate profit based on the margin. Okay? 10 minus 4, 6% is their margin in that way, if you see. Clear? Chalo. Ab, they have given me this, how much? 10%. I am fine with that. 10% is not bad. Now, with that 10% beta, factory established. Okay? Means, factory is established means factory machine and other things I have bought. Okay? And that factory will run by people. I have to create employment. है कि नहीं है? तो मैं क्या कर दूं? Employment generation done. ठीक है? Any problem? So if employment is generated, what will be the impact on demand? High? Anyone, any doubt? Demand gone up, ठीक, all right. If the demand gone up, then someone has to produce. More factories means production. More production, more is related to the last chapter. ठीक है, clear? Any doubt here? Okay. Now, now another day, I went to SBI. SBI said, okay, I will give you loan. Okay. Then SBI went to RBI. RBI said that, okay, I will give you loan, but I will not give you loan at 4%. I'll give you loan, let's say, say at how much? Let's say 8%, they said. Imagine 8%. Okay. Okay. So how much they will charge? मान लेते हैं 15%. Now that 15% for me, is it prudent for me to take loan at 15%? चुकाना ही पड़ेगा ना. I don't have an option to flee. चुकाना पड़ेगा. You have to return back. Clear? Will it be good for me to take loan at 15%? No. So if we go for 15%, then no factory, no demand, no production, and no GDP. ठीक है? Clear? Okay. So टिक किया मैंने डिमांड को. नाउ okay, and you know this cycle. Okay, more production means more employment, more demand, more GDP. This is how, this is virtuous cycle. ठीक है, you know it. All right, चलो come back. Now whatever changes is here, 8%, 4%, 2%, whatever changes here, it has consequent impact on demand or not? Yes, no? Pakka? Okay. Then can I say that it is impacting the demand? Whatever policy RBI adopts, it has impact on demand. Clear? ठीक है, इसको याद रखना. We'll use it in the future. Fine. Now, monetary policy. हाँ हाँ नहीं नहीं हाँ वो हमने भेजा है वहां पे एंट्री भेज किया है वो सोसाइटी में भेज. अभी क्लास में हम करते हैं, बाद में बात. ठीक है. All right. So my point is, whatever RBI did here, अभी तो that's one element you have seen. ठीक है. Rates is something that we have seen. There could be many things that will come in the future. But whatever RBI does, that is what is called as monetary policy. So monetary policy is the special prerogative of Reserve Bank of 100%. They have power. All right. In fiscal policy, when I will teach you fiscal policy, then I will come back again to this particular moment of our discussion. Okay. Then you will understand economic policy as a whole. This is half part of the economic policy. So in chapters like that economic cycle, in chapters like inflation, I have been mentioning one point: more money supply, less money supply, monetary policy tools, monetary policy instrument. Now all of those things we'll understand in this chapter, and it is all the prerogative of Reserve Bank of India. Through its policy, it can impact demand. Remember it. It can impact demand. And remember, there are two things: demand and supply. You understand demand, you understand supply, you understand economics. Okay. So it has consequent impact on the demand. We'll use it in the Abhi. But write one sentence first. Monetary policy is an instrument used by the central bank of the country in bracket RBI to influence the supply of money in bracket liquidity in the market. Para change. Credit policy is a function of monetary policy which deals with the rate at which credit in bracket loan is provided to the customers. Okay. Now, the word liquidity. Yesterday or up till yesterday, I have been using the word money. From here, I will use the word liquidity. Liquidity simply means how much money is there in the market. More liquidity means more money. Less liquidity means. Now, between these two things, 8% and 4%, which situation is situation of more liquidity? 4%, right? Why? Okay, all right. Simple explanation is money is cheap, सस्ता है, ठीक है. Loan is cheap, सस्ता है. Okay, that's why more liquidity. You and I can take loan. This is less liquidity because rate of interest, money is available, but I can't borrow. Unless I can't borrow, इधर कुछ भी नहीं होगा. समझ गए? So less liquid, more money, less money. Understood? Now put up the heading objective. Objective. ठीक है सर? अब let's talk about objective. First, it talks about money supply. It talks about liquidity. ठीक है? Now, if you remember the chapter inflation, okay, demand pull inflation is the, and also I said that it is very much about demand pull most of the time. Okay, most of the time it is demand pull. Sometimes it could be supply and structure as well, but most of the time it is demand pull. Okay, so demand can be controlled by monetary policy or not. Clear है इस ग्राफ से, sorry, schematic से. Okay, the first thing is it can control inflation. So number one should be control. Number one, control. Write down. Control demand in the economy. Demand in the economy. In bracket inflation. ठीक है, चलो. Number two. Now, it will have impact on employment or not, right? So number two, employment generation. Number two, employment generation here. Next, GDP or not? So next write down, enhance growth. Next, अब imagine, let's analyze further. If I am unemployed, do I hold the potential of saving or investment? Very less या एकदम negligible. Investment तो पूछो ही मत. Do not even dare ask investment. ठीक है. Saving पता नहीं, पैसा है नहीं खाने के लिए, saving क्या करेंगे? That's also very distant dream it looks. Do you agree? So, in one situation, employment is created. In another situation, employment is not created. Will it have any impact on saving or investment or not? Yes, tell me. This position saving more or less? This position saving less. ठीक है, write down. Enhance saving and investment. Enhance भी कर सकता है, घटा भी सकता है, both. All right. Okay. Saving and investment. ठीक है, चलो. Next. I told you inflation is like cancer. It eats up from inside. ठीक है, fine. So the best marker of unstable economy, अगर आपको कुछ भी ना पता हो, ठीक है, whether the economy is unstable or not, few things are there that we normally look at. Okay, one is inflation, another is what is the debt to GDP ratio, what is current account deficit. These are the things we will talk about it in the future. ठीक है, but अभी हमको क्या पता है? सिर्फ inflation. And inflation, I told you, it's a very strong marker. Higher inflation means dead economy. Moderate inflation means that there is a situation of growth. Growth everyone likes. ठीक है. So, can I say with the use of monetary policy, we can maintain macroeconomic stability by controlling inflation? Can I say that? Write down. Macroeconomic stability. ठीक है. So, these are the major objectives of monetary policy. Clear? It has covered almost everything. ठीक है. With the help of this, remember this, the graph that I have, this schematic I have drawn. Previously as well, we have drawn similar kind of thing. With the help of just one simple schematic, we can understand entire that macroeconomics. एक चीज से पूरा macroeconomics you can understand. All right, वो यही है. ठीक है. Now, put up the heading. Types of monetary policy. So basically, if we say there are two types of monetary policy. ठीक है. One is expansionary monetary policy. Other one is contractionary monetary policy. ठीक है सर. Now simple. Let's understand. Expansion means if something of this size expanded to become this. ठीक है. Contractionary, ठीक है, size reduced, contraction, size enhanced, expansion. All right, clear? चलो. Expansionary monetary policy means RBI has used certain or adopted that kind of monetary policy, okay, which is enhancing the money supply. Money supply is 100. Now it has enhanced to 200. That is expansion of monetary policy. Clear? Contraction. Money is 100 rupees and RBI क्या कर दिया, उसको घटा दिया. ठीक है, they can do it. There are many ways. Okay, घटा दिया 100 to 80, contraction. Clear? Now, in economic cycle chapter, we have studied different phases, है ना? Now you tell me, based on the definition I have rendered to you, tell me कि recession के time पे, during the time of recession, which policy one should adopt? Why? क्यों? During the time of recession, why do we need more money in the market that time? Demand create करना. Clear? And when the inflation rate is high, which one will we will be adopting? Okay. Secondly, if there is a fear that economy is in some situation of boom phase, ठीक है, बन रहा है गुब्बारा, bubble going up. If we have suspected, which policy we should use? Because we have to control the demand, तो मनी सप्लाई कम करने का. ठीक है, तो राइट. पहले ये लिख दो, expansionary. It is a type of policy adopted to increase liquidity in the market. Such policy is employed to stimulate economic growth and boost aggregate demand. Para change. It is a common policy during the time of slowdown or recession. अब उस साइड लिखिए, contractionary. This type of policy is employed when central bank wants to decrease the liquidity in the market. It is mostly used to control inflation as well as bring the cooling effect in the overheated economy. ठीक है। चलो, नाउ लेट्स मूव टू इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑफ मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी। ठीक है, तो ब्रॉडली देयर आर two type of instrument we can say. One is quantitative, other one is qualitative. Qualitative and quantitative. All right. So very important. Suasion, suasion. Huh? Suasion, S-U-A-S-I-O-N, suasion. We'll do it one by one. Fine. Chalo, let's start with this. Cash reserve ratio, CRR. फुल फॉर्म क्या है? कैश रिजर्व रेशियो. Now this is a reserve requirement. Now ध्यान सुनो, it is that part of total deposit that the bank holds, total deposit of the banks. It is that part of total deposits of the bank that banks have to keep with RBI in the form of cash. Now, two words I said, total deposit. So, let's understand deposits. Okay, pehle deposits. So, there are two type of deposits in bank. Bank classify the deposits as two types. One is demand deposit, other one is time deposit, or sometimes also called as term deposit. Both are same. Okay. Demand deposit means at your will, whenever you want to withdraw it, you can withdraw it. Time deposit means there will be something called time associated with that deposit. Okay. The best example of demand deposit is our saving account. हमारा जो saving account है, that is the best example of demand deposit. जब मन चाहो तब निकाल लो, there is no restriction. But if it is FD, fixed deposit, then can I withdraw anytime I want? वो 3 साल बोला है, the rate of interest is higher, they will pay the rate of interest if you keep the money for 3 years, 1 year, 5 years or whatever it is. Higher number of years, more return. ठीक है, जितना ज्यादा दिन उतना ज्यादा return. So if it is for 5 years, you cannot withdraw the money before 5 years. Clear? That's why terms and condition are there, time is associated with, that's why it's called as time deposit. ठीक है? Demand deposit is anytime I can go. For example, you have you guys deposit fee in Mentora IS current account, that is called as current account. आप पैसा कहाँ जमा करते हैं? Current account में. When you transfer through any medium, it goes to current account. That current account is also demand deposit. ठीक है? Clear? चलो. It says that part, if the CRR is, let's say 10%, imagine it's not 10%, but yes, imagine that it's 10%, and I have how much deposit? 200 rupees. This plus this is equals to 200 rupees I have. How much do I have to keep with the Reserve Bank of India? Kitna? 20 rupees I have to keep with Reserve Bank of India. Now, in the form of what? Cash. Okay. Now, are we gonna get any interest on the deposits that we have made to the RBI? Answer is no. RBI doesn't give a penny. Okay. Now the question is why this deposit is necessary. Alright. Now first thing, this is mandatory, you have to keep it. If you do not follow, okay, then RBI imposes severe penalty on the banks. Every year you will find many banks are fined by RBI for not maintaining this reserve ratio. Okay. Why do RBI keep it? And this is a portion of the money that banks cannot use in lending. ये तो पैसा dormant हो गया. Neither interest you are getting, मतलब there is a inflation is always there. It means keeping the money is not a good idea in that sense. Not I am getting any interest, double loss. But why RBI is keeping it? Anyone? Yes. Yes, that's right. So, the thing is that this is one of the measures that RBI undertake, which gives a sense of security to the depositors. Okay, that at least some money is kept with RBI. Even if they run away, they go bankrupt, कुछ तो पैसा बचा है. Do you get my point? So it's like security to the depositors. Clear? Write down one sentence. It is the percentage of total deposit that the banks are required to keep as reserve with RBI in the form of cash. full stop. RBI doesn't pay any interest on such deposits. Full stop. Para change. RBI keeps it for the purpose of liquidity management and enhance depositors' confidence. ठीक है? Okay. Now you tell me one thing. CRR and liquidity. What is the relationship between CRR and liquidity? Directly proportional or inverse proportional? How? Okay, yes, that's right. अब देखो, let me explain it as well. Okay, देखो, for example, let's say CRR is 3%. 100 rupees deposit कितना है? 100. Let's say 100. Okay, 100 is total deposit. So how much you have to keep aside? Sorry, 3 rupees, na? 3 rupees. Let's say if it become 10%, then if it become 20%, 20. Now, here they are left with 97, here 90, here 80. Now, they can do business, they can lend, मान लो. Here they can lend 97 rupees. Here at best, theoretically I am saying, this doesn't work that way, but try and understand. But here they can lend maximum 90. So, their lending ability is going down or up. CRR increasing, lending ability goes down, and liquidity is dependent on lending ability. Clear? Got it? That's why the relationship is that of, लिख लो formula. ठीक है, ये सब भी लिख लो, बाद में रिवीजन में टाइम में यूज आता है. ठीक है, रिवाइज कर रहे हैं आप लोग? ठीक है. ऑलराइट, चलो. नंबर 2, SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, SLR. ठीक है. Now let's understand. It is that part of the total deposits that banks have to keep with themselves in the form of cash, gold or government securities. कैश समझ में आता है अपने को? गोल्ड समझ में आता है अपने को? Government security is something we don't understand. ठीक है? We will talk about it elaboratively when we talk about money market. ठीक है, but for the purpose of understanding I'll tell you briefly what exactly is this security. ठीक है, चलो तो हमने क्या बोला, कैश, गोल्ड एंड ठीक है, क्लियर. चलो नाउ व्हाट इज दिस, लिटिल बिट आगे तो डिटेल, little bit. Government securities, but nothing but a piece of paper. Okay, it's a piece of paper. Certain things are written here. For example, price is written, terms and condition, other things are written. Okay. For example, let's say Modi ji came to your town and said that from Bengaluru to, let's connect directly to Mumbai, या और कोई शहर कनेक्ट करना है बताओ, कर देते हैं. एनी शहर यू वांट टू कनेक्ट? हाँ, मेरा घर my that will cost a lot. Modi ji will die. For example, let's say we have to connect to Patna. ठीक है, मेरा घर पटना से भी दूर है. Okay, you have to a journey of approximately 6.5 hours away from there. Both train and road takes out approximately same time. So let's say Patna, it's a mega project, but Modi ji came here and made an announcement, okay, that I will make this expressway, the biggest expressway ever, yahan se wahan tak direct. Okay, fine. That will cost approximately 1 lakh crore, maybe more. Such a big, ठीक. You said that कमाल हो जाएगा, मजा आ जाएगा. We can visit to Sir's home anytime I want. All right. So you voted for him. He became the prime minister. After becoming the prime minister, he has to fulfill his promise. He will fulfill his promise. He need money, 1 lakh crore. पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? बहुत बड़ा दिक्कत है. It's not the only priority. There are many priorities. This is one of the priorities. So government decided, let's say, to borrow from the market. कहाँ से borrow करें? Market. Market में there could be anyone. There could be banks who will be interested to buy it. Secondly, there will be corporate who would be interested to buy it. There could be sovereign countries who will be interested to buy it. Or there will be, like us, interested to buy it. Why? Because this document, this piece of paper is issued by government. Sarkar khud de raha hai. The most trustworthy agency is government. If they take loan, they will return. They will never go bankrupt. SBI is a very big institution. We cannot think of it going bankrupt, but it can go bankrupt. It's a normal entity, corporate entity, private limited company. But government of India, after all, they have the ability to print. Okay, remember it. SBI doesn't have. Okay? So this paper you will buy. Okay? So I gave money. Okay? And I got paper. Money went to government and paper went to us. Clear? Abhi ke liye itna samjho. There are more things about it, but I am not interested in discussing it here. I mean, I will be interested in future chapters. Fine? Okay. आगे government security क्या है? ठीक. It says that you maintain gold, cash, gold and government security with yourself, whatever percentage. If it is, let's say 20%, then total deposit ka 20% you keep. All right? Clear concept, everyone? Now you tell me, what is the relationship between SLR and liquidity? Direct, inverse? Direct, inverse. Okay. Direct वाले बताइए जरा क्यों direct? Think. सोचो, बोलो. Let it be wrong, let it be correct, who cares? I am here to fix you. If you are already fixed, then there is no point coming here. You don't know, that's why you came here. My duty is to make you understand. So, galat sahi doesn't matter, answer matters. He, RBI can do this up, down. I am not talking about just one. I am talking about the ratio as a whole. You can maintain it in 30, 30, 30, 33, 33% or 50%, 20%, 30%. That's a different thing. Okay. But what will happen to liquidity? And people who said inverse, why? Remember, one more thing. It is with the bank, doesn't mean bank can use it. Ah, okay. Okay. ठीक है. Other people, anyone else would like to say? बताओ. Use it for lending मतलब? No, 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 no. This is like 24/7. Camera लगा रहता है. You can't. If you violate, fine will be imposed. 10 crore, 5 crore, 50 crore, anything they can impose. You can't do it. If it is 20% means out of 100 rupees, 20 rupees has to be maintained 24/7. Inverse. Okay. देखो same as वो simple. For example, let's say 100 rupees is there, ठीक है, and SLR is, let's say, how much? 15% मान लेते हैं. तो कितना पैसा आपके पास? ₹15 कीपिंग. बच कितना जा रहा है इधर? ठीक है, 20% कर दो. एंड दिस इज, बढ़ा देते हैं, 30 कर दो. हाउ मच? 70. दिस इज ऑल दे कैन लेंड. ये जो 30 है, they have to keep all the time with themselves. They cannot use it, can't touch it. Same as CLR, sorry, CRR. The only difference here is that you have option to keep in these forms, or second difference is you can keep it with, how you have to keep it with yourself. You are keeping it with yourself doesn't mean you can use it. You can't touch it. Never. Okay. हर दिन maintain करना होता है. Okay. Do you get my point? So this is what it is. So the relationship will be inverse. First write down, and then I'll tell you one more thing about SLR. It is the percentage of deposit. ये लिख लिया ना formula? लिख दो, कहीं पे लिख दो, anywhere you want. Okay. It is the percentage of deposit that the banks deposits that the banks have to keep with themselves in the form of cash, gold and government securities, form of cash, gold or government securities. Write down one note. Now, remember, इधर देखो, this is not considered, remember, this is not considered as a very good tool for liquidity management. Why? One reason is there. SLR, the government security is there, right? Government security, for example, RBI issues government securities worth rupees 1 lakh crore for the road. That 1 lakh crore rupees went to Modi ji. Okay. Now that piece of paper went to State Bank of India and other banks, let's say. Okay. That money is with government. What will the government do with that money? They will spend in the construction of infrastructure 1 lakh crore. That money indirectly came back to the market. Okay. But in case of CRR, that money never goes to the market. Here as well, as far as cash and gold is concerned, it never reaches the market. But the money that they are keeping in the form of government security, that money indirectly went to Modi ji and Modi ji spent it. So, it is in the market in terms of purchase of equipments, buying of land, labor, all these things. Clear? That is why it is not considered as a good this liquidity management tool. No, 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 no. It doesn't work that way. It is kept in the locker. Okay. So, I don't note. SLR is not considered as an effective tool for liquidity management because banks are more inclined towards buying government security, buying government securities for the purpose of SLR, Sorry? That will also, okay, that is also, because gold is nothing but store of value, that is it. Interest they receive. Gold is risky, it can go up, it can come down, alright. Lately it is going up, but gold has this fluctuating tendency. हाँ, ऊपर नीचे. But government issues security, it is written that I will give you 8%, 7%, 10% or whatever percentage. It is written. So, this is assured return, 100% sure return and on the time and date. ठीक है, जो भी time date है, on that particular time and date you will get the money back, the जो भी है, interest है, principal है, whatever. That's why, so money is dormant, why not make some more money out of dormant money? They can't do anything. First. Secondly, that is called a sovereign debt crisis. That's the worst kind of economic crisis for any country could face. India was facing the same kind of situation in 1991 and Sri Lanka faced 2-3 years ago and Pakistan is facing right now. But they are live. adventurous people na, तो the adventure करते रहते, that's why they are running behind this America and China, पैसा दे दो, Saudi Arabia, they send their people, army, to fight someone else's battle. 25,000 troops were sent to Saudi Arabia. Okay, and Saudi Arabia is that you will use army, Pakistani army, to fight Iran, and Pakistan is the mediator between Iran and US. Imagine the hypocrisy. Okay, you cannot understand Pakistan fully. Okay, they have just one agenda. पैसा कहाँ से ले, पैसा कहाँ से ले. Okay, UAE is was very angry. बोला कि $3 billion I have given to you, give my money back. They sent 25,000 troops to Saudi Arabia. They gave $5 billion. Out of that $5 billion, $3 billion this Pakistani have sent to UAE. UAE. Abhi they are bootlicking Trump, है ना? So why? Because IMF will give them money. IMF doesn't give anyone money if it is not directly or indirectly supported by USA. International politics is this. Okay. When you look at the foreign policy of Pakistan, Pakistan has no foreign policy. Wherever there is money, that becomes their foreign policy. Okay. So they are facing this crisis. Okay. So that kind of crisis is the worst form. Greece faced this crisis in 2012. Okay. This is the worst kind of crisis. Okay. It can happen. I am not saying it won't happen, but yes, that's the worst. But if government is not returning, nothing much you can do. Okay, you can go to court will say something. Okay, but you can't do anything. But I have not seen any government defaulting on a large scale. Some sort of restructuring is done. This is what is I have seen. Okay, but if that happens, that is the worst kind of crisis. All right. No, we have chosen Modi ji as the Prime Minister, but government is a continuous process. Government of India is Government of India. Okay. Today we have BJP, same as yesterday it was Congress. Tomorrow someone else will come, but Government of India will continue. Okay, it's not party. Government of India is Government of India. For example, today here we have Congress. Maybe possibility हो सकता है कि next time my Congress might come or BJP might come. जो भी आ जाए. But Government of Karnataka is Government of Karnataka. It doesn't depend on who is ruling. Okay, government is government. Yes, this is called as imprudent fiscal policy. This policy is not a very good policy. Government can do, but try to understand the problem of that government. If that government again is chosen next time, what will happen to them? How are they going to manage it? Your pura treasury is gone. How are you going to survive? Okay. Social crisis will happen. Economic crisis, then social crisis will happen. The same people who you have given 10,000 rupees, same people will come and beat you black and blue. You will be thrown out. Okay, so you have to balance both freebies and the financial status of the state. Okay, but that's not a very good practice. Aankh band karke dena. Freebies are not fully bad, but the way it is distributed in India is not good. Okay, the way it is distributed in India, it's not good. Okay, some sort of subsidy should be provided. It's important. Okay, but the way it is provided to win elections, particularly, now that is better. Okay, water should be free. Water should be free. Koi baat nahi. Not a big deal. Electricity, you want to reduce the rate, not a big deal. Okay, but you start doling out money for election, for votes, that create problem. That's the major problem in Indian politics as a whole, if you see. Okay, but subsidies as such, वो देना ही पड़ेगा. We have no choice. Otherwise, we will have food insecurity the moment you remove subsidy. You remove fertilizer subsidy, who will produce? The cost of production will become so high that farmers will not produce. Already it's a risky enterprise. Farming is very risky. इतना रिस्की एंटरप्राइज है और ऊपर से तुम सब्सिडी विड्रॉ कर लिए, देन पीपल विल नॉट डू फार्मिंग, दे विल थिंक दे विल डू समथिंग एल्स, देन हु विल फार्म, फ्रॉम वेयर द फूड विल कम? Food insecurity. Food security insecurity means national insecurity. Okay, so we have to rationalize the subsidy. We have to bring certain efficiency into this regime. We'll talk about it. आगे चैप्टर है, ठीक है, चलो. हाँ, when I am depositing something, they are giving the guarantee of safety and security of the deposit. So they will, no, there is a different sort of insurance. One is given by RBI, okay, but the liability is on the State Bank of India, na? The commercial bank, jo bhi hai, the liability, they have to take the responsibility, okay. They will compensate us monetarily. Maybe the locker is there, some very important piece of paper is there, and that paper is gone in robbery. The value of that paper for me is crore. Value for that paper or piece of paper for bank may not be much, but there is a value associated with the locker. The locker is insured. Okay, so we'll get some money. Not to. Oh, that depends. Can't say. It depends on what was the situation, what was the circumstances, what was there. Okay, बहुत सारा चीज है. Normal circumstances, you won't get full. Okay, it is very subjective. Okay, so whatever is agreed by RBI and this bank, that will be given to you. Not 100%. Okay, but if, let's forget about locker, let's think about our cash deposit in banks. Okay, we have this ICICI bank, many people's account is there. If some robber comes and rob it, okay, 5 crore rupees is gone. Okay, so that is lost to the bank, not lost to the customer. The customer doesn't require insurance or anything. Okay, that's bank property, not my property. The bank will deal with the insurance company. My deposit is secured. Okay, but in other thing, the tangible thing which has very innate value, then there is a likelihood of loss. Okay, but not in cash. Okay. Deposit, no proportionality they have not proposed. Total worth should be that much. Total. Kyunki dekho, why I am saying, because not all the time government security is available for sale. Okay. For example, yesterday I had deposit of 100 rupees, today 150. Okay. Total to deposit 150, and best thing is to buy government security, but that time government security is not available. What will you do? You have to go for, maybe there is a possibility that gold rate is very high. Possibility is there. So, being a banker, what will be my natural choice? Cash. So, we cash rakhte. Later on, we'll think when the bond, this government security is issued, I will put up security, I'll take up cash. Barabar. That's why. Okay. Yes, yes, every time. Every time. ठीक है? तो लिख लिया? Depends on the nature of the economy. If we don't import, then we will collapse. Because there is no alternative source of energy. How our transportation sector will work then? See, the problem with ethanol is there is too much of politics involved in ethanol. It is, not his son. Entire opposition party and the ruling party is involved in it. That's why no one is raising the voice. Most of this Ganna thing, commanded by who? Ganna mills is commanded by who? Do you know that? In Maharashtra, it is commanded by the NCP, opposition. In UP, it is commanded by BJP, ruling. In Tamil Nadu, it is commanded by DMK, नहीं TVK नहीं, अभी तो आया है ना बाद में command. All right, DMK, both AIDMK. Who will raise the voice? Tell me. ये political science में पढ़ा था ना कल, भूल गया? I told you, it is a facade. It's a facade. Don't think that it's a real democracy. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so there is interest involved by this party. Okay, and ethanol is for environment as well. They eat a lot of water, huge consumption of water. Yes, their interest is involved. You are compromising with their interest. They have invested crores and crores of rupees for that. Ethanol blending was 10%. It was increased to 20%. And reports are coming, engine is not performing well when the blended petrol is injected into it. So, car market will also be booming that way. जल्दी खराब होगा तो नया कार खरीदेंगे. So everyone is involved. Try and understand. No, ordinary people's voice is your media, and media is, they have sold their soul. That's the problem. Can't do much. इसलिए चुपचाप खाने का है, घूमने का है, निकल लेने का है. ठीक है? If you start analyzing things, how things are working, you will have sleepless nights. That's right. Yes. Yes, yes. We need to decide, we have the power to decide, but if we decide on the basis of caste, religion, region, language, then there is a problem. They know our vulnerabilities. ठीक है क्या? Caste पकड़ो. They know that if I give them 10,000 rupees, 99% chance is there that they know that these people are loyal people, good people. ठीक है, 10,000 रुपीज दोगे वोट दे देगा मुझे, ठीक है, इन द होप कि बाद में फिर 10,000 मिलेगा. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट दे डू. तो दे नो इट. तो इफ यू कम आउट ऑफ caste, come out of reason, come out of religion, come out of language, then things can improve in 5 years. But we will not come out of it. That's the problem. Our identity is very important. Okay? तो यही है, क्या करोगे? ठीक है, क्या लिखा लास्ट? हाँ, a line has to be read. How could I not? For sure. But the money accrued by the government through selling the securities is injected back into the market. ठीक है. Now bank rate. बैंक रेट. अब ये क्या है? बैंक रेट is the rate at which Reserve Bank of India provide loan to the banks, commercial banks. ठीक है, is the rate at which RBI give loan to SBI. ठीक है, that rate is this. Okay. अब in this particular case, they normally provide loan as a normally I would say, क्योंकि there are certain exceptions, minute exception, that's why I'm using the word normally. Sometimes flat sentence could also be written in an option, हो सकता है, ठीक है. So they provide these loans without any collateral normally. Okay. For example, if you go to bank, sir personal loan दे दो, तो bank will ask collateral, घर गिरवी रखो, you have gold or you have anything, property, land, कुछ भी, you mortgage that and you take money, right? So there is the Reserve Bank of India also, Reserve Bank of India also normally demands certain security. Okay, but in this case they might exempt the banks. Okay, and it is provided for a relatively longer period of time. I can't say longer, I will say relatively longer period of time. Relative to what is a question. Now that is something we will understand in next segment. Clear? Write down. It is the rate at which commercial bank borrows from the RBI. Commercial bank borrows from the RBI for a longer period of time. Full stop. In this variety of loan, RBI may exempt the collateral requirement for lending. requirement for lending. ठीक है? What is the relation? Think and tell me. Hmm? I don't know. I'm just asking. Direct. Okay. How many of you are direct? Okay. ठीक है. And how many of you are indirect? Other people not sure. Search it. Take your time. Think. If you are able to think in the class, you will be able to think outside. That's why I emphasize a lot on thinking. Otherwise, these things I can पढ़ा दूंगा मैं, समझ में भी आ जाएगा, तो फायदा क्या है? Direct. Okay. Inverse. Let's see. Okay. देखो बेटा, बैंक rate at which it give loan to the, ठीक है? So if bank rate is 5%, ठीक है? SBI will give you loan at 10%, रख लो. If it is 10%, SBI will give you loan at, मान लेते हैं 20%, ठीक है? If it is, let's say 30, this is something like that, let's say. Okay. Now in this case, here I will take loan, ठीक है? In this scenario, can I take loan? In this scenario, can I take loan? Okay. It is up to me. If I am taking loan, liquidity up. If I am not taking loan, liquidity down. ठीक है? So as the rate increases, cost of lending increases, rates are increasing. So will I take loan? No. Okay. And if it is, let's say 3%, then how much? रख लो 7%, क्या है? कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है? 7%. So less bank rate, more liquidity. More bank rate, less liquidity. So relation is ठीक है? अभी तक सब इनवर्स है. All the three we have read inverse. चलो ठीक है? Now let's move to repo rate. ठीक है? Now ध्यान सुनो. Repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends to the banks. Now the question is, what is the difference between bank rate and repo rate then? Definition दोनों का तो same हो गया, है ना? One difference is there. ठीक है? Difference is that it is for short duration, mostly for 1 day. Normally we say, अरे एक दिन का लोन लेके क्या फायदा? Lakhs of crores of rupees of transaction is done. This is called as overnight system. Lakhs of crore. एक दिन का loan जो bank and other institution take for 1 day, that is amounting to the tune of lakhs of crore. So don't underestimate that. What will I do with you and I can't do with a 1 day loan. But they are bank. Billions and billions of dollars of transaction. Big banks, very massive banks. Do you know how much transaction they do on daily basis? Like JP Morgan. JP Morgan do transaction of $10 trillion in 1 day. Transaction, imagine, worldwide. $10 ट्रिलियन एक दिन में घुमा देता है पैसा. Okay, so one day market is a very big market. First thing you understand. Okay, so now, so repo rate is ultra short duration instrument. ठीक है, अभी आगे पढ़ेंगे पहला चीज, लेकिन अभी तक जो पढ़ा उसके बेसिस पे आई विल टेल यू. देखो, CRR and SLR has to be maintained. Okay, your margin keep going up down up down up down on daily basis. You might need fund for that. Okay, you have to maintain it. Okay, so you borrow money for one day. That is one of the major reasons. Other reasons are also there. As we move forward, I will tell you. But that is one. Reserve requirement is compulsory. If I will not maintain, a fine will be imposed on me. Okay, and that fine is not fixed fine. For example, if I will not wear helmet and there is a fixed fine. How much is the fine? 500 rupees. Okay, fixed. But here it is not fixed. It is on the discretion of RBI. Sometimes RBI can charge you 5 crore, sometimes RBI can charge you 30 crore. It is all discretion of the RBI and there is no fixed rate कि ये violation तो फिर 500 रुपए दे दो. No, it depends on RBI. So to avoid such penalty, okay, they have to maintain. So that is one of the reason why they have to buy it as a take loan for one day. Okay, but so mostly it is for one day, but it can exceed one day as well. अभी तक जो है we have 3 different type of repos. One day repo, we know 3 different type of repos are there. One is 7 day, other is 14 days, and the other one is 28 days. 28 day as of now is the highest number of days for which you can take loan at repo rate. And do remember one thing, repo rate is the least possible rate of interest you can anyone can borrow on in the entire country. सबसे सस्ता is repo rate. Nothing can be below repo. Everything is above repo. Clear? समझ गए? चलो तो लिखो. It is the rate at which the central bank provide loan to the commercial banks. Commercial banks, full stop. Normally, overnight transactions are famous, but presently RBI provide term repo of 7, 14 and 28 days. 7, 14 and 28 days. Full stop. It is also sometimes called as policy rate. Policy rate. Okay. So this is the cheapest rate of interest on that particular day. No one can provide you loan below this. No one, matlab no one. ठीक है? That's why it's very much famous. Most used instrument. So whenever there is the RBI comes and decide, they mostly talk about repo. They do not talk about anything else. That's the one of the reasons why in newspaper, if you see the monetary policy related news, then they will talk about repo rate. It's the most important rate. That's why the name policy rate. So every other policy follows with this policy. Clear? अब इसमें क्या होगा? Liquidity. Not liquidity increase, reverse or inverse or direct? Huh? Direct. Okay. Inverse. Inverse. How many of you are inverse? 3, 4, 5. Okay. And direct? ओके ठीक है और लोग देख लेते हैं. Is there any difference between repo rate and bank rate in effect? If bank rate is inverse, why repo rate won't be inverse? Because both are doing the same activity. Short duration, long duration, that's a different thing. But rate matters, na? The bank rate gone up, liquidity came down. Similarly, repo rate will go up and liquidity comes down. तो write down. इनवर्स ही चलता आया है अभी तक. ओके चलो. नाउ रिवर्स. I think it is somewhat around 5%, 5 point something percent or something like that. Okay. Jitna bhi hai na, it keeps changing. Every 4 months it is subjected to change. That's why I have not made you write it. So normally what ideally one should do? We should write all the rates 1 month prior to your prelims examination. ठीक है. If UPSC asks, normally UPSC won't ask the rate. If they ask, then you have the exact rate, okay? Because it keeps changing, all right? No, it depends. You need more money in the market, you decrease the repo rate. You need less money in the market, increase the repo rate. So if the inflation is high, repo rate will be high or low? I don't know, I am asking. My question is, if the inflation is high, repo ज़्यादा होगा कम होगा? High. Okay, this shows demand. We have to cater demand. Demand cater करने के लिए low liquidity. For low liquidity, you have to increase repo rate. 5% 8% कर दो. People will not take loan. Demand will be tamed. So for inflation control, this is the most important instrument. This is the first instrument they touch. There is not a surety that it singularly can handle the inflation. Okay. After that, they might use other policies as well. ठीक है? चलो. Reverse repo rate. Repo rate is money given by RBI to the banks. Reverse is ulta. Commercial bank will give money to the Reserve Bank of India. Alright? Commercial bank will give money to the RBI. Why RBI would need money is the first question. Can you tell me based on your common sense? Okay. What time? Or? Okay. They can print as well. Why they need that one? They can print. Chalo bhai. Money from the market. For what purpose? Okay. Yeah. The first thing. So it is SBI and this is RBI. ठीक है. If दो situation हो सकता है. If RBI has sufficient surplus cash, not lending, they are keeping with themselves. They won't earn even a single penny if they keep with themselves. Clear? Why not give it to them? At least you will earn something. No, for this year they will give interest. For CRR they are not giving interest. This is alag, different. That is compulsory. This is not compulsory. That too you have to do no matter what. This is something that is voluntary. If I want, I can do. If I don't want, I want to. Okay. Got it? Chalo. RBI fixes interest rate. At what price I will take loan? No. When you are dealing with RBI, it is all RBI they will fix. This is my way or highway. They are regulator. RBI is a regulator. They are no commercial enterprise. They are regulator. Okay. When someone is a regulator, they decide the game of the that rules of the game. In fact, that is what they do. On daily basis, they declare that today 80,000 crore I can take under reverse repo. Okay. Sometimes 2 lakh crore on reverse repo, and rate is already decided. It will always be lesser than, okay, repo rate. Repo se niche rehta hai. If repo is 5%, then it will be something around 3.75 or maybe 4%. In general, okay. It depends on RBI. RBI ka discretion. Whatever they want, they will do. Okay. But arrangement is like this. Okay. Now let's talk about reverse repo rate and liquidity relation. Direct or inverse? Inverse. Inverse. Socho, think. Direct. Okay. If you think, you will come to the correct conclusion. Direct. देखते हैं, पता नहीं मुझे. I don't know. ठीक है. Let's see. Reverse repo rate. Okay. 5%, 7%, 10%, 20%. मान लेते हैं for the purpose of understanding. Okay. Okay. SBI. Okay. This is the RBI. ठीक है. Now, if SBI gives loan to the market, ठीक है. If SBI give loan to the market, then liquidity up. If SBI doesn't give loan to the market, then, for example, SBI gave loan to the RBI. What will RBI will do? They will pay back with interest, no doubt about it. But with that money, what RBI will do? Okay. No. No, nothing is compulsory with RBI. Remember it. Nothing is compulsory. It's all discretionary. Okay. RBI is very powerful, very, very, very powerful body. Why? Why? That's not the duty of RBI. RBI is a regulator. Governmental developmental work is the duty of who? Government. RBI is a regulator. RBI has nothing to do with development as such. Like? No. Again, Government of India. RBI is different. Government of India is different. Whatever is the case, why RBI will think? That's the job of RBI. Okay. Basically, RBI has enormous amount of money. More than 40 lakh crore RBI has. जी हाँ. RBI has machine as well. They can print if they want. and no one can stop them from printing. Okay, they take this money and they keep it and they return it back. They don't have to use it. Okay, RBI already have surplus money. Okay, RBI don't need, they just do it. I'll tell you why. Okay, so SBI इधर जाएगा लिक्विडिटी बढ़ जाएगा, इधर जाएगा लिक्विडिटी घट जाएगा. क्लियर? अब who is more trustworthy, RBI और मुकेश अंबानी? रेगुलेटर गवर्नमेंट है ना, it came through law and this is just an entity. Today it is there, tomorrow it won't be there. ठीक है, you never know. तो ट्रस्ट जहां पे ज्यादा है और रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इज ऑल्सो दे आर गेटिंग. ठीक है, their movement will be this. If it goes to RBI, liquidity will be less. If it go towards us people, normal, then liquidity will be more. So if 5% to 7, 7 to 10, 10 to 20 means repo rate going up, liquidity को क्या हो रहा है? Going down. All have inverse relation. You have to remember just one. Okay, even if you forget about the calculation, do remember the fact that all the instrument as of now we have studied has inverse relation. किसी book में नहीं लिखा है. All right, it's not written anywhere in the book. This is something we have derived to make our life easy. Okay, ठीक है, तो लिखो. Yes, yes, it's a loss for RBI, no doubt, because sometimes when the inflation rate is high, ठीक है, and RBI think that for the next 1 month, 2 months maybe, it is better to have lesser liquidity in the market. They might use it. So overall, RBI is at loss, no doubt about it. But overall, there is gain in the economy. For the purpose of gain to the economy, they might incur temporary loss. Okay, and secondly, do remember, RBI is not a commercial enterprise. RBI is not there for money making. RBI make lots of money. Okay, through repo they get a hell lot of money. There is no doubt. There are many services RBI give, they get money, but they are incidental money. They are not their core business. Every year RBI earning is not less than, I think, 1 lakh crore. Okay, out of that, majority of the money they give to the government, 60,000, 75,000 crore they give to the government. Okay, but that is not, RBI is not supposed to earn. They are earning, that is incidental. There are situations they are made earning. So when they are making loss, in this case there is loss to the RBI because they have to pay interest and the money that they are getting is not. So they are making loss, but macroeconomic stability is reached. That's why this. Clear? Chale. To control inflation, to get the SBI can earn through surplus money, use is, regulators use is what? अब government of India can't think, na, I will make profit. Government of India's purpose will be what? For example, development of India. ठीक है, for development of India they borrow, they take loan. Okay, the government of India is not getting benefit, country as a whole is getting benefit. Here RBI is making loss, but there is, because of this, loans are coming here. RBI is keeping that money, ठीक है, stacking it, and that money is not going in the market. Inflation will come down. Inflation will come down, that will have consequent impact on overall stability of the economy. Okay, so regulator job is not to earn money. Regulator job is to regulate. Regulator job is to maintain stability in the market. So these are the instruments to maintain stability in the market, not profit. Okay. Repo came down. Repo came down. That way, bank, SBI and other people, they brought the rate down. Okay. So people started buying. That is how it is. Okay. Likhiye. It is the rate at which RBI borrows from commercial bank It is a tool for absorbing excess liquidity from the banking system. Excess liquidity from the banking system. ठीक है सर? चलो. Next is liquidity adjustment facility, LAF. ठीक है? ठीक ना? LAF. देखो, नाम से ही पता चल रहा है, लिक्विडिटी एडजस्टमेंट फैसिलिटी मीन्स देयर इज सम नॉन एडजस्टमेंट. That's the reason why it was brought in the first place. So, this particular instrument, or this is not an instrument. I have written in the section of instrument, sorry, we have been discussing things in the form of instrument, but here it is not an instrument, remember, it's a facility. It's a facility. So, here the RBI facilitates. There is non-adjustment, there is some problem in the lending or scarcity of funds, some problem. That problem could ease. For that purpose, this was brought 26 years ago. In the year 2000, this was brought. Here, particularly the, I told you overnight market, one day market, okay, overnight market is very, very volatile market and huge volume is there, huge. पैसा का बहुत दिक्कत हो जाता है वहां पे, okay. In money market and other markets as well, you will see that there are other arrangement as well, not just with RBI, with other banks arrangement is also there, okay. So here problem was there, particularly overnight rate, ek raat ka problem. Now RBI brought it, okay. Then here under this facility you can take loan, okay, or you can give loan if you have surplus, ठीक है, with the RBI, the relationship between the bank and the RBI. Here which instruments are used? Because it is a facility, it is not an instrument. So certain instrument has to be used, right? And now that instrument is repo instrument or reverse repo instrument. ठीक है? If you want to take money, use repo. If you want to give money, then use reverse repo. ठीक है? So the instrument used is repo and reverse repo, but this is additional facility provided so that you can avail more fund if you need, there need be. Clear? So for more fund, this is the facility. Clear? Right on. It is introduced in 2000, and it is a short-term credit control policy of RBI. Of RBI. It is employed to facilitate day-to-day financial operations It is employed to facilitate day-to-day financial operations of the bank and to reduce volatility in the rates, particularly overnight rates. Here, the instrument like repo and reverse repo is used. ठीक है? Now next one is MSF, marginal standing facility. MSF. Okay. No one asked me one question कि सर बैंक रेट तो नाम समझ में आ रहा है, कैश रिजर्व रेशियो कैश समझ में आ रहा है, रिजर्व समझ में आ रहा है, स्टैट्यूटरी समझ में आ रहा है, लिक्विडिटी समझ में आ रहा है, बट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वर्ड इज रेपो? सुना है कभी रेपो वर्ड? इज इट ए वर्ड इवन? बट नो वन केयर टू आस्क. अभी हमको उसको समझना पड़ेगा. Repo means there is a full form. This is a half form of repurchase option. Now the question is repurchase of what? ठीक है, देखो, I told you that bank rate में you don't need to put any collateral as such in most of the cases, but exceptionally RBI can have different arrangement. We don't know about it. They are regulated, they have enormous power. Okay. In all other, if you want to borrow under LAF or directly under repo, ठीक है, then you have to give collateral to the Reserve Bank of India even if your name is SBI. आपको देना पड़ेगा, and that collateral is government security. And remember, the government security is also stored where? In SLR. Can I place it here? Over and above, अभी इसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Over and above SLR, if you have government security worth rupees 1000 crore, you can go in the repo market and take loan worth rupees 1000 crore. That piece of paper will go to RBI and RBI will give you loan for 1000 crore. ठीक है? Let's imagine that it is for overnight purpose. ठीक है? So for one day, RBI kept your security. Next day, the bank will come to RBI and RBI will return that piece of paper. ठीक है? And the SBI will transfer that 1000 crore to RBI and they have to pay the interest rate. Interest rate is that repo rate. ठीक है? Repo rate, for example, repo rate is 5 years. Okay? Sorry, 5%. Fine. So for 12 months they are charging, rate is like yearly. So 5% is for 12 month. तो कर लो 5% divided by 365 number of days. तो whatever percentage निकला वो आपको पे करना पड़ेगा along with 1000 crore. Clear? That's why repurchase option. So first I sold that If this is my piece of paper, I am SBI, I sold this piece of paper to RBI. Now, but I have option of repurchase. Tomorrow I will repurchase. Along with that, I will give interest. कौन सा 5% divided by 365, तो एक दिन का निकल जाएगा. If I have taken it for 7 days, ठीक है, तो then after 7 days RBI will give me this and I will give them 1000 crore, and for 7 days whatever is the interest rate over that 1000 I have to pay. Clear? This is how repo works, or this is how LAF works. Clear? That's why name is repo, reverse repo or repo. Now, when we talk about MSF, there can be a situation when bank, ध्यान सुनो, when bank needs fund for maybe overnight purpose, mostly for overnight, maybe 7 days, maybe 14 days, we don't know, but they don't have government security as collateral. If they have government security, they can go under LAF repo, they can take it loan, no problem, then there is no problem. But if I don't have it, but I need money, then what will I do? Okay? So, particularly to facilitate just 1 day wala, MSF is not any other day, just 1 day, single day, remember it. So, for 1 day if you are out of money, banks, and you are out of government security which you can place as collateral, then you can go under MSF route. Now, the question is, so do we have to not to pay any collateral here? Effectively, collateral nahi hai, but RBI would love that you pledge the securities that is under SLR. बोलते तुम्हारा SLR के अंदर है, pledge it. ठीक है? So pledging is there about SLR, but that will, RBI gave an exemption that RBI won't say that there is a decrement of SLR for the day you have pledged it. It can be used only when you are completely out of additional government security. Clear? How much money you can take? It is said that 1% of NDTL. NDTL क्या है? It is net demand and time liability. ठीक है? 1% of NDTL, up till that much you can borrow. Net demand and time liability. Okay? मतलब डिपॉजिट, टाइम डिपॉजिट प्लस डिमांड डिपॉजिट जितना है वो, लेकिन यहां वर्ड यूज किया है नेट, है ना, ग्रॉस एंड नेट. ओके, ग्रॉस मीन्स व्हाट एवर इज द डिपॉजिट, ठीक है, दैट इज ग्रॉस डिपॉजिट. The moment we say net, the formula will change little bit. It means all the deposits in the bank. Okay, this is gross, इसमें से माइनस करना होगा. Deposits of other banks. Every bank, SBI has their own current account in SBI. SBI has their own current account in HDFC. हर बैंक में, every bank has a bank account in every other bank. ठीक है? So that they can do the business internally as well. समझ गए? तो that kind of deposit we have to remove. What remained is your NDTL. ठीक है? So 1% of NDTL you can borrow. What will be the rate of interest? Now this rate of interest will be higher. This rate of interest will be repo plus 0.25 Previously it was repo plus 1, then reduced repo point plus 0.75, then further reduced 0.5. Presently it is repo plus 0.25. It might decrease further or go up, we don't know, it's up to RBI. आगे समझ? So it's a special thing that was brought. Okay, MSF. तो लिखो it is an instrument which facilitates scheduled commercial banks to obtain loan from RBI for overnight purpose. Parachin. This facility was introduced in 2011 primarily to cater to the situation when banks doesn't have enough government securities to borrow directly under repo market. Change here, bank can pledge security available under SLR and can borrow to the maximum of 1% of NDTL. Full stop. Presently, rate of interest is repo plus 0.25. ठीक है? चलो. Today when you go to your home, check all the rates. Okay? Website पे जाइएगा, check all the rates. Near about 18% ये है SLR and CRR. I think it is like near about 4%. Whatever is the rate, write down. But don't get bothered. The rate keeps changing. Which rate you will be remembering? 1 month prior to your prelims. That's it. ठीक है? All other rates are of no use to you. ठीक? चलिए मिलते हैं फिर. Thank you.